For journalists covering the July unrest, behind the lens and in front of the cameras, it was a tough assignment. Many faced intimidation, harassment, and even robbery. An SABC crew was targeted in Alexandra, north of Johannesburg.
So when we went in with my colleague Natasha, we found out that there were no police on the scene, and it was the looting and people were busy, breaking into shops and everything. We did our television crossing, and to our surprise, when we were busy packing our kits and getting ready to leave Alexandra after we had shot the looting and everything, I just saw one guy wearing a buff or a mask of some sort, balaclava, just pointing a gun at my forehead. So I just felt a cold piece of metal on my forehead. And it was like, a gun. I was being gun pointed. And the other guys just started getting into the car, taking, our cell phones, our belongings, our camera.
It was bad. It was traumatic. I think when things started happening, where the unrest actually came to Joburg, we had just reported on a store that got looted. As we were just packing our equipment into our car, next thing I know, the car surrounded by a number of men, and they held us at gunpoint, my colleague and I, Ukabi. And I just decided to run away from the car.
What we've seen here today is a group of community members that have taken charge of the situation, and what they're trying to do is to protect their infrastructure.
In the south of Johannesburg, the media also fell victim to attacks.
Being a journalist during the July unrest was a very scary time. We faced intimidation as well as threats of violence from people who didn't want to be caught on camera looting. Right behind me is Jabulani Mall. This is where we had stones being thrown at us as the camera people. We remember hiding behind the police, and the police also just trying to contain the crowds that were trying to open or forcefully open a liquor store, among other stores.
We saw sporadic looting begin outside Bree Mall. We decided to stop and assess the situation. It was quite busy at that time, so we decided to go out. My colleague Ronewa went out into the mall to take visuals, while we decided that I would, be behind in the vehicle taking visuals of those that were running out of the mall. While in the passenger seat of our vehicle, the group noticed that I was recording and surrounded our vehicle, asking me to delete the visuals and to stop recording. I negotiated with them through the closed window, telling them we're the media, showing them that I'd stop recording and that the visuals were then deleted. Someone came up with a brick to our window. As we started talking, I tried, calming them down, showing them that we're part of the media, showing them my bulletproof vest, which has the inscription of, the media on it. This led them to actually aggravate them a little bit more, and they smashed the passenger window with the brick. I'm going to ask Renewa to just give you a sense of, the brick that was used to open that window, and the only valuable that they could take at that point, they couldn't see my phone at that point, was my bulletproof vest, which they seem to have wanted. 1 year on, these incidents still haunt the victims.
It was a very traumatic experience, one that gives you flashbacks, bad flashbacks.
It was a very scary time, and each day I was anxious on every day because I wasn't sure what I was going to be met by.
I feel as if that trust between us journalists and the community is broken. At some points in the country, journalists were respected, revered, but now it's as if whenever the community, protests, we are targets ourselves as journalists, whereas it's our responsibility to disseminate information. But how could we do it in such a volatile, environment?
SABC crews in KwaZulu-Natal were also intimidated and attacked while covering the civil unrest. Hasina Gori, SABC News, Johannesburg.